good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on when you're tuning in. And we're not quite there yet, but I do love Q&As. And, I'm so happy to have all of you guys. I mean, as big as we've gotten, TBH, I didn't really think we'd get anything beyond 250 max. And so the fact that I believe we're like 790 something, it's honestly incredible that enough people have tuned in. And I do appreciate all the nice comments you leave, what you liked, what you didn't like. Not that I think I've seen anyone say something that they didn't like, but besides the point. Yeah, so I just wanted to do a little Q&A, and I did, and there's nothing wrong or anything. I did see similar questions, so I will try and go into the order that I saw them presented. But if there are similar questions, I'll just wait until I get to a segment. It's like, oh, both of them asked. Okay, so first thing is from Stella, and she asked, do you get embarrassed when recording audios? And a little bit, honestly. Part of it is from, me trying to kind of assimilate and trying to really get into the zone to really, make it a audio worth listening to. But if you get too deep into the zone and this little giggles and such, those aren't what do you call those, like phoned in, I think. Those aren't phoned in. I just kind of get really into it. So I do get a little embarrassed envisioning how things pan out. So yeah, I guess very active imagination on some ends. Oh, and just I did read it, so I just wanted to read it out loud here. Is thanks for making videos. They help me learn English. Much love from Turkey. Speaking of which, I hope I'm not like butchering this, or like I'm like, oh, I love this, and then it's like, dude, that's not even from the same country. But if I'm correct, I love kebabs and I love baklava. Baklava is so good. I remember seeing it a lot on, what was it, Instagram, with the pistachios, and being like, what the heck is that? That's weird. And then I tried one and I was like, this is amazing. But yeah, I love baklava. And thank you, Stella, for the question. And I'll get to the other one. I didn't forget. I like ice cream. Ask your birthday / zodiac sign. So my birthday is July 27th, and I'm a Leo. I don't really follow the star sign too much. I do every so often check that one website with like the star sign compatibility, but I don't like, maybe people are more in the know about like compatibilities and such. I don't really keep track of it too much. I like ice cream, and Stella both asked, how tall are you? So I know my friend, he is without a doubt, and we've measured, he is without a doubt 6 foot. Now, I'm not too far behind him, but I wouldn't quite say I'm 5'11". I'm probably like 5'10". I'm probably, because I don't really keep track of it, but I'm not too much farther off of him. So I'm pretty sure that's the case. I like ice cream. Ask favorite sport. I'm not. I know a lot of people can get into football or like soccer or football if you're not from America. Which, no hate at all. I'm just not a crazy big fan of any of those. Usually, I mean, if it's on, I'll watch it, but I'm not like, I'm a mega fan. I like this and this team or this and this player. Like, I'm just tuning in because everyone else is, you know? I do like lifting weights, though. I don't know if that's necessarily on the same category. I mean, I guess, because it's like they have some weightlifting things in the Olympics, so I guess it's a sport. I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not a very big sports person as much as I am working out. The next question is, how would you describe yourself in 3 words? I'd say quiet, determined, and loyal. I'm, in real life, whenever I hang out with people, like friends, family, whatever, I'm usually not talking 99% of the time. And it's not necessarily that I'm uncomfortable. A lot of people tend to be louder. And I hope I don't sound too quiet in my audios. But normally I don't talk very big. This is probably a stretch to say like, oh, he's talking louder. But I usually am very more soft-spoken in most cases. Determined. Depending on who you ask, some call it stubborn and some people call it determined. But I've always, I never try to back down. I don't like giving up. Like, losing and failure is one thing, but giving up is just something I don't do. And so, depending on who you ask, some call it determined, some people call it stubborn. And you can take it for what you will. And I would also say loyal. So, I don't always talk. And sometimes I've had friends in the past who, like, I'll briefly mention something and they do take note of it and they surprise me with something. It's like, oh, I remembered. And in that moment, when someone remembers something about me, the fact that I don't talk so much, I am like, you are my friend and I am sticking with you. Like, I'm going to call you out on something if I don't think it's right, but you're a good friend, you know? Like one time, I'm a really big fan of bees, and some people are afraid of bees in some of my friend circles, and I'm like, how can you hate bees? Like, I kind of get the hornet situation. Like, hornets are they're a little more aggressive, so I kind of get that. But bees, like, it's like, oh, it's so cute when they go to the flowers and, they go pollinate and they go find their little nest. And that's cute. But I don't know. They're so tiny, so cute. They make honey. I love honey. Some people don't. And I get it. But I love honey. And it's like, what amazes me about it is, like, it never, like, goes bad. In the natural sense. Like, I'm sure if you add water or other things to it, like, it'll eventually go bad, but just raw honey by itself doesn't go bad, and I think that's really cool. Something I Like Ice Cream also asked, something you've always loved about yourself. I'd say, I guess it's kind of in line with the determined / stubborn that I mentioned earlier. But I remember growing up, like I went to high school and then I went to an early college that essentially, if I did everything right, that I would get basically the first 2 steps in what do they call it? It's like, in college credit. So I would essentially have like my associates before I even graduated with my diploma, which I was like super on board with because because even as a young high schooler, I knew in high school there were going to be areas in high school where there was just going to be a lot of downtime where it's like you're not allowed to leave school, but you're not also like you know what I mean? Like there's nothing to do, but you're also not allowed to leave. And I thought that was really boring because I'm like, come on, we can make time useful to some extent. So I went and did that. And the first few weeks I went to the other college were rough because I actually went in as a sophomore, not as a freshman. Usually they had the freshmen do this, but since I was a sophomore, I had to catch up a lot on freshman year and also be doing sophomore year. And my mom noticed how much I was struggling, and she was like, if you want to quit, like you can quit and we can take you back to the high school. And I just wasn't going to give up. I'm like, I know I can do this. I can push forward. And I think my mom began to see a side of me that she really never saw before. Like, I could finish college. You know, my mother, she was in college, and at the time, my father was off to the military, and my mom was told my father that he was going off for deployment and that he could take her if they were married. And my mom had a choice and she took it. And ultimately, she didn't finish school. So, I don't know. It's really important to me. Not necessarily, like, I know going to college is like, it's just like, oh, it's supposed to be for your betterment. You learn stuff and this and that. And, you know, it's gotten harder. I haven't loved it nearly as much, but I'm determined to finish and see it through because my mom never really asked for much of me. But the one thing she did ask was that I just finish school so that I can get a pretty decent job. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know, she meant everything to me. I just want to do right by her. That's all. But I got really sidetracked. I Like Ice Cream also asked, best pickup line? I don't have anything original myself, but one that I really like that I've heard is she, he, her, him, they, them. Baby, I don't care. As long as I can be you, yours, all you need to do is call me later. I don't know. I really like that one. But, yeah, I didn't say it before, but thank you, Stella, and thank you, I Like Ice Cream, for asking these questions. Cardinal Claw asks, favorite and least favorite food. My favorite food, I think, would have to be if you ever had a Cuban sandwich. It is so good. It's like, okay, it's ham, pulled pork, mustard, pickles, and like cheese. And on paper, you might think like, oh, it might be a little too much, but it is so good. I love it. I can't have it all the time, but I think that Cuban sandwich is so good. Least favorite food? Off the bat, I don't really hate a lot of food. I'm down to try most food at least once. I'm trying to think of one that I was like, that was not very good. And I'm having a real tough time because even stuff that's okay, like, Yeah, I probably won't pick it again, but something I really didn't like. I'm trying to think. I think. I don't know about least favorite food, but there was this one experience I had with sushi, and I thought it was super gross. By the way, I do like sushi. I don't know if I'm a sushi like super fan, but sushi is good. But I remember one time we had sushi at this one place, and like sushi is generally like very soft, rice, fish, that sort of thing. And I bit into one of them, and it was crunchy on the inside. It would like, and to me that was so gross. Like, but I guess like that's the same thing either way. Like, when you have something soft and you have something crunchy inside, that's like so gross. Or like, if you're having something really crunchy and then there's something really soft inside, like that's gross. I think. If it's like, it's one thing when it's intentional, but like in that instance, that was not intentional and that was gross. Yeah, so I don't know if I have a least favorite food, but yeah, I guess that would be that one experience I had that I did not like. Cardinal Claw asks favorite board game slash movie. I don't know if it necessarily counts as a board game, but I love carrying Uno. Because there's been a couple instances where there's been like downtime and we're all just waiting for like the next class, but there's like enough time that like we could squeeze like an Uno game in. So like we get on our knees and we deal the cards on like the bench and we're all just playing Uno. Like it would be like 4 or 5 of us like just playing Uno waiting for the next class. And I think that's pretty cool. Favorite movie. Um, what's it called? No, it's favorite movie. That's a tough one. I think my favorite movie. It might change later, but at the moment, if you haven't watched Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, it's really good. I highly recommend watching it. It's super good. I don't want to give too much away with that one, but Cardinal Claw also asked top 3 songs. Again, there's like a lot of songs I can think of, but off the bat, in no particular order, I would say some of my favorites are After the Storm with Kali Uchis in it, Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler, and Dream a Little Dream of Me. I really like that one with Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong. Those are some of like, I'm like, oh, I love these songs. And finally, Cardinal Claw asks, do you listen to audios? Yeah, I do. So I have a list right here. And so I do have a list of people here that I really like listening to, and including, but not limited to. Oh, actually, I guess before I start that, Stellar Audios actually, she thought that I would make really good audios, and I wasn't quite sure at the time. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd do really good. And she was like, no, it'd be awesome. And she really encouraged me to start the channel. So I guess without Stellar Audios, this channel might not have existed. But I have enjoyed listening to audios from others. It's really been something I enjoy, because I do remember there was a time myself when I didn't really feel like, I don't know if you've ever had the feeling, and I hope not, but if you had, like, the feeling of being alone. It's like, it's terrible, and tuning into an audio just makes it feel like a lot better, like you're not alone, kind of thing, you know? But as far as people I listen to, including but not limited to Warm Cocoa Audio, Wifey Audio, Wholesome Girlfriend ASMR, Mindful Mess ASMR, Stellar Audios, and Orchid Audios. Orchid Audio's whole pun thing, I really love. It's super fun. Super fun. I can't stop smiling about the puns. I know puns are not everyone's thing, but I like them. And yeah, I guess that's the Q&A. Thank you to everyone who submitted a question. And I hope I can continue making content that you guys like. Without further ado, I guess tune in next time for another exciting episode of whatever comes next, I guess.